Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. You may have wondered why on earth are we hosting a Monday webinar for Travel Tuesday? Honestly, it's a fair question, but there really is a method to our madness. Travel Tuesday is an incredibly busy week in our world, and travelers are already looking ahead to 2026. Sorry about that. So we wanted to give you a clear, calm, insider guide walkthrough before everything officially kicks off. Today is all about helping you feel confident, inspired, and ready. 2026 is shaping up to be one of the biggest travel years we've seen. Rail demand has been climbing steadily, but with FIFA coming to Canada in June and July, plus the Grand Prix, we're expecting availability to tighten earlier and more sharply than usual. We've already seen booking patterns shift. People are planning further and ahead, which is why sessions like today make such a big difference. If anything sparks a question as we go, timing, comfort, routes, anything at all, just pop it in the chat. Our lovely Lucy, who you'll meet later, is answering all of your questions as we're going. Along with that, we'll have a Q&A at the very end. So our Canadian insiders are here behind the scenes to make sure we can reply to you as soon as you need it. What you see in front of you is kind of what we're going to talk about today. Some of those critical things is really hopefully giving you a chance to see what real travel feels like. As much as I wish I could put you all on that train right now so you could see what I see. uh, Oh, I hear you're having a bit of problem with my voice. I think it's getting better. Sorry about that. I know it was a weird opening and I apologize for that breaking up. I'm hoping that that has improved. Um, so what you're going to learn today is about our trains, a day train versus a sleeper train. Um, regions and signature routes, accessibility and special requests, and what to expect for Travel Tuesday. And then, as I said, we're going to have a Q&A. Tomorrow's Travel Tuesday savings are among the best we offer at all for the whole year, not just this year, but for the whole year of 2026. You're actually going to get a first look at it today, and it is a true pre-launch preview. So you'll be ahead of everyone else. I'll give you a quick high-level overview now, and then we'll walk through the full details at the end of the session so you'll be ready to take advantage if you're interested. And it covers all the routes. So many of you were great giving us all kinds of things that you wanted to learn about. And so this is you see we're across Canada, the Canada Rockies, Eastern Canada, and also our winter trips. So covered all the things you guys shared that you were interested in. When we say Canadian insiders, this is who we're talking about. This group you see here, this is our team. They are people who live here, travel here, and genuinely love helping visitors experience Canada the way we do. Everyone you speak with at Fresh Tracks knows this country deeply. The trains, the regions, the seasons, the hotels, and the little details that make it your trip full effortless, but most importantly, unforgettable. Our insiders don't read from a script. They listen first and help shape a trip around what matters to you. That's why two itineraries are hardly ever the same. And today you get to hear directly from them. Two of our top Canadian insiders who bring that experience to life every day. Shannon is one of the first speakers you're going to hear from. And she's also one of the many voices you might speak to first start exploring your trip. She has a deep understanding of how demand is shaping for 2026, including how early some of the most popular departures can sell out. Shannon also brings a real on the ground perspective of what each route actually feels like the pacing, the scenery, the rhythm of the journey, the different comfort levels, and how to choose a route that genuinely fits your travel style. She's fantastic at helping travelers understand the most memorable excursions, the uniquely Canadian experiences that special tours that we only offer if you come through us. Then you get to hear from Jessica. Jessica is a senior customer experience specialist, and she's one of those experts you might speak to once you've booked your trip. She's part of the team that helps with bringing your trip to life from the moment right up until you return home. She guides travelers through pre-travel questions, packing considerations, mobility needs, hotel expectations, and what to anticipate each day. She also might be able to do something special for your milestone celebration. Jessica is incredible at making sure all the details feel smooth, supported, and clear, so travelers know exactly what to expect and feel confident before they go. But really, who you want to talk to, it's not me. You want to talk to Shannon because she's got some pretty cool things to share with you. So now I'm going to turn it over to Shannon.
Good morning. To get started, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about who we are at Fresh Tracks and what we do. So Fresh Tracks Canada has been in business for nearly 30 years. We offer a variety of travel styles within Canada, including journeys by rail, which are our specialty. Our trips are organized, independent vacations that allow you the flexibility to personalize your itinerary to suit your preferences. We have preferred partnerships with both train lines, and that means we get exclusive access to cabins and train seats that often no one else has, including sometimes the train lines themselves. When you are off the train, we focus on small group sightseeing experience to really personalize your trip, many of which are unique and exclusive to Fresh Tracks guests. One of the things that sets Fresh Tracks apart is our commitment to providing the best possible experience for all of our guests. From the moment you land to the moment you depart, your hotels, sightseeing, transfer, and trains are included. You will have two dedicated people working with you at Fresh Tracks. First, someone like myself on the sales side that will help to curate your personalized itinerary. Once you have booked your trip, someone like Jessica on our legendary hospitality team will take over and ensure all the fine details of your itinerary are taken care of to ensure your vacation is flawless from start to finish. So to get started, I'm going to play a quick video just to give you a glimpse into the travel experiences on our Canadian trains. I think it's just starting now. Sorry for the delay on that. Okay, I think we're having a few connection issues with the video, so I apologize for that. We're going to skip the video and we can send that out after the webinar is done. So there are a few unique things that make train travel really special and unique. Diverse landscapes is one of them. The Canadian landscape is incredibly diverse, from coastal regions to towering mountains, arid plateaus, and rolling fields. All of it can be experienced by train. One of my favorite things about travel by train is getting to see places that you would never see unless you were on the train itself. The train is also a very relaxing way to travel. No one needs to worry about navigating or watching the road instead of enjoying the scenery. Each traveler gets to sit back and relax when on board the train. Dining is fantastic on the trains. Both the train lines in Canada prepare their meals fresh on board using locally sourced ingredients and menus inspired by the area you are traveling through. The train's traveling through more remote areas, which means an increased chance of wildlife viewing right from the train. I will never forget being on board Rocky Mountaineer, standing on the viewing platform on the Gold Leaf train car. Right by the tracks was a brown bear, just watching the train pass by. Life can be really hectic, so a leisurely pace of train travel is a huge benefit. We don't always take a moment to slow down, and the trains are a perfect way to slow life down, soak in the moment, and not feel hurried in your travels. Put all of this together, the landscape, the leisurely pace, wildlife viewing, and the relaxing nature of the train, it all comes together to create some really unforgettable memories for your trip. So there are so many pieces that come together to create a great trip. Sightseeing activities and excursions, unique dining experiences, and personalized touches. Two components that have the biggest impact on your overall experience are the trains you travel on and the hotels that you stay in. So in Canada, we have two train lines, Via Rail, which is our national rail line and connects Canada from coast to coast, and then Rocky Mountaineer, which is a sightseeing train traveling through Western Canada from the coastal city of Vancouver to the beautiful Rocky Mountains. I often get asked which train is better, and it really isn't about one being better than the other. It is truly about the experience you want. I have traveled on both trains and really enjoyed my time on each train. I often say the only way you can accurately compare them is to say that they're both trains. The onboard experience is completely different and very intentionally so. The best part is you don't need to choose just one. You can include both on your Fresh Tracks itinerary. Starting off with Rocky Mountaineer, Rocky Mountaineer is a daylight-only luxury sightseeing train. Rocky Mountaineer travels 3 unique routes between Vancouver and the Canadian Rockies. What makes Rocky Mountaineer unique is your sightseeing time is maximized on board as the train only travels during daylight hours. You do not sleep on board Rocky Mountaineer, unless you sneak in an afternoon nap. Rocky Mountaineer has 2 service levels, Silverleaf and Goldleaf. Having traveled in both myself, I can honestly say no matter which one you choose, you will have a really beautiful journey, but there are some key differences between them. Silverleaf is a single level train car, and what I really appreciated about traveling in Silverleaf was how big and bright it felt inside. The windows start about waist height and go all the way up to the roof, which is about 10 or 12 feet high. So you can imagine how massive those windows are, the light that it lets in, and of course, your fantastic view looking out. Silverleaf guests enjoy breakfast and lunch included and served at their seat. Goldleaf is the upgraded service on Rocky Mountaineer. Goldleaf passengers travel in what is called a bi-level dome car. On the main level of the Goldleaf train car is a dining area where guests enjoy their included breakfast and lunch. That is one of the key differences between Silverleaf and Goldleaf. Silverleaf passengers are served their meals at their seat, whereas Goldleaf passengers have that separate dining area. The other area of the main level of the Goldleaf train car is an outdoor viewing platform, which is exclusive to Goldleaf passengers and was personally my favorite part about traveling in Goldleaf. It is so nice to be able to go outside as the train is traveling, get some fresh air, and take in the view from there. On the upper level of the Goldleaf train car, which is accessible either by staircase or by lift, is where your assigned seat would be. Goldleaf seats are a bit bigger and have notably more legroom. Goldleaf is most famous for having a full glass-domed roof, providing a 180-degree view of everything around you as the train travels. Both Silverleaf and Goldleaf guests enjoy unlimited snacks and drinks that are included throughout the journey, as well as onboard hosts providing commentary as the train travels. It is a truly beautiful way to travel into the Canadian Rockies. Via Rail is a more traditional style of train travel where you will spend a night on board in a private cabin. Via Rail's flagship route is called the Canadian and is a 4-night journey between Vancouver and Toronto. It is possible to do a shorter portion of that or even stop for a few days off the train, for example, in the Canadian Rockies, and continue when the next train comes through. There are 2 types of cabins on Via Rail. The Sleeper Plus cabin for 2 is the standard cabin. Sleeper Plus has an upper and a lower bunk bed. During the day, those bunks go up and you have 2 armchairs for a private viewing area, as well as a private sink and toilet within the cabin. Sleeper Plus cabins have access to a shower just down the hall. And I know some guests get uneasy about a shared shower, but be assured that it is cleaned between each guest. And the shower facility has both a wet and dry area where you can change and get dressed in privacy. Don't have to worry about running down the train corridor wrapped in your towel to your cabin. The screen or the pictures on your screen that you're seeing are the upgraded and highly sought after prestige class cabins. There are only 12 prestige cabins in each train and they sell out very quickly. So planning in advance is absolutely critical to travel in prestige class. The prestige class cabins are larger and instead of the bunks, they have 1 full-size bed. During the day, that bed will go up against the wall like a Murphy bed, and you have a couch for a private viewing area, which you can see in that top picture. The really nice thing about the prestige class cabins is they do have a full private bathroom, so a toilet, sink, and shower within the cabin itself. Whether you choose to travel in Sleeper Plus or Prestige Class, you will have access to domed viewing cars throughout the journey, as well as enjoy all-included meals in the dining car. The train itself is quite smooth, allowing for easy passage as you walk among and between the cars. The lounge area is a great place to meet fellow travelers and to visit. And on each departure, the train crew will host different events on board. There is always something to enjoy while you're on board the Via Rail train. So we categorize our hotels into different levels and have an option for each travel style. The hotel services are completely separate from the train services, so choosing one hotel level does not determine your train experience and vice versa. You can mix and match and choose to upgrade your train experience without upgrading your hotels, or even just upgrade some hotels and not others. Certainly, if you want to do the top-end hotels and trains, you can absolutely do that as well. So our comfort hotels are clean, they're comfortable and well located. They just don't have a lot of amenities. Comfort hotels are a great choice for travelers who spend most of their day sightseeing and simply want a cozy place to sleep. Our superior hotels are 4 to 4.5 star and are, of course, still clean and comfortable and well located, but our superior hotels have a few more amenities and creature comforts within the hotel. Depending on the property, it might have a spa service or 2 or 3 restaurants on site instead of one, and their rooms tend to be a little bit more modern as well. Our boutique hotels are specific to Eastern Canada, in particular Montreal and Quebec City. These are charming hotels with 40 to 60 rooms, often built into historic buildings in the heart of Old Montreal and Old Quebec City. Our deluxe hotels are the 5-star Fairmont hotels throughout your journey. The Fairmonts are the famous railroad hotels in Canada, so iconic hotels like the Fairmont Banff Springs, which you see on the screen, the Fairmont Royal York in Toronto, the Hotel Vancouver, and the Chateau Frontenac in Quebec City. The deluxe Fairmont hotels offer luxury services and amenities in beautifully appointed rooms. So I've talked about the trains and the hotels, and now let's talk about where you can do them and what you'll see along the way. So Western Canada is home to the most beautiful scenery from the Pacific coast to the Rocky Mountains. Popular destinations in Western Canada are Vancouver, Banff, Jasper, and Lake Louise. Calgary, which is my own personal home base and home to the Calgary Stampede, is an experience we can include in your July Rockies trips. The Rockies have something for everyone, whether you want to enjoy your time on a small group sightseeing tour or something more active like a hike or an e-bike tour. You can choose to travel into the Rockies on board either Rocky Mountaineer or Via Rail. And if you want to experience both, I recommend our Ultimate Canadian Rockies itinerary, which includes both train experiences. So where Western Canada is known for dramatic beauty and wildlife, Eastern Canada is known for the history, culture, and food. You may or may not know, but there's a bit of a friendly rivalry between Western and Eastern Canada. With that in mind, as someone born, raised, and still living in Western Canada, understand it is a very big thing for me to say this. Quebec City is my favorite city in Canada. I genuinely get excited every time I speak to a guest with Quebec City in mind. It is charming, historic, and beautiful. Walking through Old Quebec City feels like you're wandering through a small town in France. Montreal is Quebec City's younger, artsier neighbor with a fantastic food scene. And if you want to explore beyond the cities into the countryside, I highly recommend adding the Charlevoix area to your time in the province of Quebec. Halifax on our East Coast is an absolute hidden gem. It is a city that pleasantly surprises guests and leaves you wanting more. I always encourage you to add an extra night in Halifax. You need at least one full day in Halifax, but could easily fill multiple days. And you really must add a day to explore the nearby coastal towns of Lunenburg, Mahone Bay, along the Aspetugan Peninsula. Toronto is, of course, our most famous city with something for everyone. Toronto is a starting point for not only some of our Eastern Canada itineraries, as well as our cross-Canada trips. So if you can't choose between East and West, the simple answer is you do both. You can travel Canada coast to coast from Halifax all the way over to Vancouver, from the East Coast, traveling along the St. Lawrence Seaway, through Ontario's Lake Country, the rolling prairies, and into the Rocky Mountains. If you don't have time to do the entirety from east to coast to west in one trip, a really popular trip Our route is to travel between Toronto and Vancouver with or without a stop in the Rockies. So local knowledge makes all the difference. Fresh Tracks is based in Vancouver and locally owned. Most of our team is in Vancouver, but we have Fresh Trackers all the way across Canada as far east as Halifax. When you call us, you are speaking to a local. Having someone with firsthand knowledge and experience makes all the difference in planning your trip. I have personally done and experienced everything on our coast to coast trip: the cities, the tours, the trains. Our sales team have been on the trains and stayed at a lot of the hotels we work with, experiencing the tours and excursions you'll enjoy. Consider the itineraries on our website as a starting point and use our experience, local knowledge to make the recommendations to tailor the itinerary so it's absolutely perfect for you. So I've spoken to you about the trip and the various trains and hotel options and how we can tailor the itinerary to suit. Now I'm going to hand it over to the wonderful Jessica Dinez, who is a customer experience specialist on our legendary hospitality team, who will talk to you about what happens after you book your trip.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessica. I work on the customer experience team here at Fresh Tracks. I'm just going to touch again a little bit on what you can expect after you book with us. So once your vacation advisor finalizes your itinerary with you and you're feeling good about everything, you will then be assigned to a customer experience specialist like myself to focus on the finer details within the trip. We are here to take care of you from the moment you land to the moment you depart. Now, I always like to share that during the booking process, you're going to be asked a series of questions that are going to assist us in creating the perfect trip for you. To give you a few examples of things we might ask for is milestones. Is this something special you're celebrating? Your birthday, your anniversary, maybe retirement, a honeymoon? We do have the ability to add those special surprise moments, as we like to call them, whenever we can to a trip. And we actually love to do so. So please don't hesitate to share with us if there's a way we can support you in making that extra special. Another common one is going to be dietary restrictions. Of course, you're getting fed meals on the train. Sometimes we'll have some dinners included in our trips. So some people wonder how we can accommodate this. To ease your mind, we can accommodate almost any dietary need that you may have. Whatever it may be, just let us know, and we're going to make sure everything's suitable for you. This is including allergies and just preferences: vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free. But I always like to share that we're not just limited to allergies. We can also take special requests in any regard. To give you an example, this summer I had a family traveling with me, and one of the members in the family, due to a medical diagnosis, had a very strict routine when it came to eating, and it was very difficult for them to sway from that routine. Now, part of this included every single morning they had a specific brand of bread with a specific brand of peanut butter for breakfast. I was able to actually source where we could find that in Vancouver at a local store, get it sent to their hotel so that they didn't have to worry about packing it or finding it upon arrival. And I ended up working with the Rocky Mountaineer chef and team, and they actually got it on board the train as well. So this was just a little thing that went a long way for this family because it was one less thing they needed to worry about in disrupting their son's routine. So please, again, share anything we can do for you. We do really love to go above and beyond as much as we can to make this special for you. A really common question is always regarding mobility and accessibility. So Canada might have different accessibility requirements than the United States. Don't hesitate at all to voice any questions or concerns you might have. We have been able to accommodate, again, every accessibility need that's come our way, whether you're wheelchair bound, you use a cane, maybe a motorized scooter, a walker, or hearing or sight impaired. We can definitely make something work for you. To give you some examples of things we can arrange would be luggage assistance at the train stations, assistance boarding and disembarking the train. Maybe it's walk-in showers at the hotels, a room with grab bars, anything like that. We never want to take a one-size-fits-all approach to our trips. And once we know what may or may not work for you, we'll develop that specialized trip to ensure it meets all of your needs. So your customer experience specialist and our team are going to be here to support you with any questions you can think of pre, during, and post travel. You're going to have direct contact information for your assigned agent as well as our entire team. Anything you think of, we're just a phone call or an email away, and we are always happy to help. Around 30 to 45 days prior to your actual trip departure, we're going to send you a very detailed itinerary. This is going to be the version that you'll bring on the trip with you. And as soon as we send that, we're going to arrange a meeting to go through it in detail together. This is going to share meeting locations, times, phone numbers for contact, everything you might need. And in addition to that detailed itinerary, we're also going to provide you with just some general information on Canada. We'll send you a packing list, our weather guides, gratuity suggestions, basic hours of operation, all those little things you might not think of when you're first booking, but right before you go, help out a ton. We will absolutely go through that with you together and make sure that you're feeling nice and confident before you go. Travel Tuesday is a really exciting moment for travelers who are starting to think about their 2026 trip. With demand already building, especially around the new routes, prime travel dates, and upgraded cabin options, this is truly one of the best times of the year to begin planning. And with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Jane. She's going to walk you through what to expect for Travel Tuesday this year, the availability insights you should keep in mind for 2026, and the exclusive attendee-only offer that we've created for you for today's session.
Hello. Hope you've enjoyed so far. I know many of you have asked will you get a copy of this, so just to give you a heads up, you absolutely will. Very quickly after this is completed, you should see in your email box a link so that you can watch this video again, and then also some other things that we'll share with you that you could reach out to us about. Before we wrap, here's a quick look at what's next. Some of the steps that you might want to take if you decide to move forward. When you reach out to speak with one of your Canadian insiders, they'll walk you through the rail options that fit your pace, your comfort, your preference, and how you'd like to travel. They'll help you compare the routes, the hotel levels, the excursions, and all the details that are going to shape that experience. If you're thinking about 2026, and some of you have even asked about 2027, especially with that in mind, we're already seeing that we're having some availability challenges. I saw some people talking about Prestige. That's a big one. So if Prestige is something you're interested in, those kind of things, you want to make sure you get to us sooner. And they're going to be able to help you, and they're going to know when they talk to you which ones sell out first, which ones are of concern, and where some of the availability is. The goal is simple, to make sure you feel confident in choosing the right trip for you. But just as I shared with you, we have this offer, and I wanted to share that with you before we go into the Q&A. Because you joined us today, you're getting the full details before it goes live to everyone else. For 2026 travel, there are some of the strongest savings we've ever offered. You'll see up to 10% off across several of our most popular routes, and those are all the ones we've discussed today. Rockies, Cross Canada Journey, Eastern Canada, and our Winter Rail. This is a really good window to secure your preferred dates, your room types, and your services levels, especially with how quickly we're starting to see 2026 move. So here's exactly what's included. So for our Cross Canada, we're looking at up to $3,000 in savings per couple. For Canada Rockies, up to $2,000 for savings per couple. Eastern Canada and the Maritimes, up to $1,200 per couple. And Winter Rail, up to $1,200 per couple. These are really great offers, and we're excited to give them to you first. And one of the things we just wanted to let you think about is that how to do this if you're interested. Because we today would encourage you, if you're interested, to call now. Not right now, but as soon as we're done. But to talk to a Canadian insider. We're going to have this when we go to Q&A. You're going to actually see where there's some links so that you could be able to get that telephone number and to be able to also schedule a call. Because tomorrow we're expecting the phones to be quite busy. We would encourage you, if you can't call today and are interested in maybe talking to someone this week or next week, to go ahead and schedule a call. And this way, your Canadian insider will walk you through the options, answer your questions, and help begin to shaping it what's right for you. Because every unforgettable journey starts with a conversation with us, because that's what's important to us. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move over to the Q&A. And what you'll see in this Q&A time is that you should see where you can see the links for the schedule a call and the call now. And I'm going to turn it over to Lucy, who secretly has been behind the scenes answering a lot of your individual questions. She's going to bring back up Shannon and Jessica, and she's going to go through some of your answers to some of your questions. We also have all your questions that you've asked, and we'll be able to email those to you.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Lucy. I've been fielding your questions behind the scenes here. I've got back to a lot of you, but we've had some repeating topics, so I thought I'll pass those over to our lovely speakers here. We've had a lot of questions about single travelers supplements, whether it's okay to go as an individual. Shannon, would you be okay to field that?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of single travelers that travel with us. Solo adventures are always encouraged. Lots of pricing questions as well I can see coming through. So there is a difference between the single occupancy price versus the double occupancy price. And that is related specifically to the hotels and the train cabins if you are choosing an overnight sleeper train. And that is simply because the cost of the hotel room is the same whether there's one person or two people sharing it. So when you're traveling with someone, you're each paying half the hotel cost. When you're traveling solo, you're paying that whole cost on your own. But there's lots of options for solo travelers. So definitely give us a call and we'll help you do that.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that. Another question that's come up quite a lot is about booking timeframes, how far in advance people ought to book, whether or not we're taking bookings for 2027, even into 2028. And again, Shannon, I think you're probably best to
answer those ones?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are absolutely already taking reservations into 2027. So it's always a great option to plan ahead, especially if you are looking for the prestige class cabins. As I mentioned, there's only 12 of them on each train. There's many dates for 2026 that are completely sold out when it comes to the prestige class. So as long as you're flexible, we can likely still find something for prestige class. In terms of a general booking time frame outside of anything related to prestige class, honestly, the sooner the better, especially if you do have specific dates that you want to travel. That way you get to lock in exactly what you want, the options, the hotels, the sightseeing. But I would say on average, most of our guests that are doing, say, a Rockies trip are booking probably 6 to 8 months in advance on average. But again, with that prestige class, it's closer to like 12 months in advance.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Jessica, this one's for you. We've had some questions about how much luggage people can bring, whether or not there are going to be laundry machines on the way, just general kind of, on the road logistics. I wonder if you can speak to that maybe a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So the trains you can think of work almost like an airplane, where typically you're going to travel with one carry-on, one personal item, and one checked bag. Now, that being said, they do allow you to have two large checked bags per person. So that's something to keep in mind. We do have a little bit of wiggle room. However, when you're on board the sleeper train, so that's going to be the Via Rail train where you're actually in a cabin, you can only bring a carry-on sized bag and a personal item each into your cabin. Anything larger, you're more than welcome to have on the trip with you, but that's going to be checked and stowed separately, and you will not have access on the train. So I always, make it very clear and important that anything you need to have on that train, medication, your camera, a book, the clothes for the 3 days on board, whatever it may be, just make sure you pack that in the smaller luggage. Regarding laundry, I often get asked if laundry services are available on board the train. Unfortunately, not. But almost every hotel that we work with does have some form of laundry service. So whether that's going to be coin operated or you just, leave it with the housekeeping team and they'll take care of it for you, especially the Fairmonts in our deluxe level hotels, they almost always have a laundry service that will have a 24-hour turnaround time. So it's pretty easy to get your laundry done, just not on board the train.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for that. Now, we have had a few questions about the possibility of seeing the Northern Lights, both kind of, I think, in the context of train journeys, but also as a separate entity. Shannon, I wonder if you wouldn't mind talking about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have some dedicated Northern Lights trips that travel to Northern Canada, into Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories, Whitehorse in the Yukon, and then Churchill, Manitoba. So the best time to see the Northern Lights is in the winter, between December and the end of March. The skies are colder, the lights are a little bit more active. It is something that can be incorporated into a Rockies trip. So if you wanted to, or in across Canada. So if you wanted to do the train sort of in the southern part of Canada and the Rockies and then go up north, we can add those two together. If you're looking at just doing one of our regular itineraries that is not centered around the Northern Lights and hoping to see them, it is a relatively low probability. If you're just in the Banff Jasper area, it's possible, but the likelihood is pretty low. Whereas if you travel further north to Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Churchill, in the winter, it's like a 95% probability that you would see them. So if that's your goal, I would recommend one of those trips for sure.
Fabulous. And then finally, we did have some questions as well about wildlife viewing. Obviously, a big deal when you come to Canada. So just wondering if you could speak to the best times of year to get involved in that.
Yeah, so wildlife specifically in the Rockies, they're pretty active most of the year, from spring till fall. The bears in particular are quite active in May. They're waking up from hibernation, so they're coming out to eat and they're quite visible and quite active. But throughout the summer, you're going to see bighorn sheep and moose up in the Jasper area, elk in the Banff, Lake Louise, even Jasper as well. Bears throughout the summer are quite active. Into the fall, the elk are really active with rutting season, and then the bears, of course, they're getting hungry. They're eating before they go into hibernation. So the wildlife is active in the Rockies throughout the year. One of the couple prime areas to actually see wildlife is the Icefields Parkway, which you'll travel on between the Banff Lake Louise area and Jasper. It's my absolute favorite day in the Rockies. It's spectacular scenery and an incredibly high probability that you'll see wildlife. And then also the Moline Valley region of just outside Jasper, moose and bears are very active in that area as well.
Marvelous. Thank you so much, folks. So we're going to wrap things up here now. I have seen a few more questions coming in about trip customizability in particular. A lot of people interested in adding on different destinations here and there. Your best bet for those is to click on schedule a call or call now on the left-hand side and discuss your personal plans with a Canadian Insider directly.
We want to thank everyone who's joined us. I want to let you know, I think some people asked this question, that the special offer starts today but ends on December 19th. So you don't have to do it tomorrow, but we would encourage you to call. A lot of the questions you guys ask for, if you do that call now links or the schedule call, you'll be able to talk to someone directly and they'll be able to answer those questions. We'll also try to put some of those into an email so that we can get that out to you too. But I would encourage you to schedule a call or call now. That way you can speak to someone immediately with the questions that you had. I know a couple of you asked if you could talk to someone ASAP. So if you call someone right now, if you hit that call now, you have somebody on the end of the phone ready to talk to you. Thank you guys so much for participating. Thank you, Jessica, Shannon, and Lucy. You did a fantastic job, and we love you all and can't wait to see you all for your next unforgettable trip in Canada. Thanks. Bye-bye.